As you can see, I'm still here. So, I've knitted 12 rows. Anyway, knitted 12 rows. And those 12 rows are let's see, 6 are from the toe to the heel, and then another 6 for the rib stitch I've created. As you can see, this is the purl stitch coming off of this peg, and it looks like a knit stitch because it's facing this way, but on the other side it looks like this, and this is a knit stitch, which is just, anyway. So this pattern right here will be reversed on the other side, because the other side is the outside of our sock. This is the inside. This is where the foot goes. Goes boop, boop. Anyway. So now we're gonna bind off. Oh my god. Anyway. So what we're gonna do is take our yarn, our working yarn, and just try to get the best shot I can. Just wrap it around the loom, right? Really, really simple. This is the method to just measure it, and then we're gonna wrap it again, and wrapping any loom twice, that is the length of the yarn that's going to complete a row, which is kind of cool to know. So you could like do it like 1, 2.5 like wraps. Just wrap it until like the other side, or wrap it 3 times if you'd rather have a little extra yarn. But yeah, 1.5, or I'll just do the 3 for the lulz, I guess. So now we take our scissors and we're going to cut the yarn. And we don't need our little ball of yarn anymore. So now we have all of that working yarn. Just a little tiny pile of it. And we're still not doing anything with this one yet. So now I'm going to show you a stretchy bind off method, which is pretty easy to do. You don't need the darning needle yet. I fooled you. You don't need it yet. Anyway, we'll mostly use the darning needle for like finishing off like yarn ends and so on. But anyway, right now we're binding off. Again, this is a stretchy bind off method. Let's see. We're not going to knit off the loops. What we're doing is like pulling this yarn through these loops, and it will look like a cast on, which you would do in knitting. Well, like the most basics of knitting, right? So what we're doing is we're going to, so these two pegs have yarn through them, and this peg has yarn through it over on this side. What we're going to do is take it from the top and then we're going to go purlwise and then take it from the bottom. Ta-da! See, you've done a loop right there. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. It's so easy, and it's a much better bind off method compared to putting looping loops together, and you get this awful bind off which isn't going to stretch or be comfortable at all. It just doesn't, that normal bind off method just does not work for socks, in my opinion. But I love making socks this particular way, from the toe up, so that you can get these, like, really get these fabrics that just stretch a lot and look really good. Like, especially this particular bind off method, you could use it on anything. You could use it on hats. You could use it for stuffed animal sweaters, just clothes and stuff in general. You can use it on round or single paneled items, like I'm doing now on a round item. Boop. We're almost getting there. We're almost around. And you can tell, like, it's like these are not open stitches anymore, and these are open stitches. Open just means like they're not closed off. Like, this is clearly closed off, and that's a bind off. A cast on would be open stitches that you continuously work until your desired product. So yeah, we're just going to go around. Do, 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 do. remember to go behind the top and the loop, and then back under. Down, back and up, forward, down, back and up, forward, down, back and up. Kind of like the whole concept of the fox jumping over a log and going into a log, if you want to think about it that way, which I have not up until this point. If that would help you remember. Like your little tail is a foxtail. And we're at a point where, like, I started right here and I just kind of came to this point right here, but I'm gonna like continue going so that it's binded really good, and I feel comfortable enough with it being a good bind off. It does get a little thicker when you double it, but in my opinion that it's still worth going a little bit of an extra length just to firmly tighten it, firmly get it all together. And now, yeah, a little extra tail, and it should be safe to pull it right off. You could, if you can't use your fingers, you can use the loom hook to pry it off, but like in general it should be loose enough to just pull right off. And this is our loop from the beginning. And now we set this aside and we could leave this on for like the next sock. And now we got a derpy little thing. I think in the next video I'll show you how to close this off.